Hey YouTube, welcome back to SIBZ, West Coast, East Coast Siblings. I am Sid. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to click the bell so you can be notified of all of our coverage on Wandavision. I almost said Wanda Woman. On Wandavision. Tonight we are going over episode 6. It just dropped on Disney+. Let's get into it. Just want to note a couple of things that I didn't talk about last week. 1, there's still no Dottie on the wall. A little questionable, the wall with all of the aliases and all of the people and their real IDs. Dottie is not there. We've not seen Dottie in a few episodes. Wonder if that's important. You let me know what you guys think in the comments. Also, the mailman, sketch-a-doo dude. He seems to know stuff. You're not really sure what it is about him, but I'm sure they'll let us know at some point. All right, let's get into it. So at the beginning of this episode, we have this tension that's been brewing between Wanda and Vision for a long time, and it sort of comes to a head in this episode. We learn from Darcy that they can track Vision based on the vibranium decay. That pretty much means that his body is either in a state of decay or it is continually decaying. We're not really sure, but we know in essence that Vision is dead, and we get confirmation of that when he tries to push through the barrier of Westview and his literally chunks of his body are getting pulled off. So we know Vision can't exist outside of Westview as of right now. And that makes me really sad. We've really gotten to know Vision in WandaVision, and it just hurts that he probably won't make it. We also notice in this episode, Wanda can't control Vision the way she controls other people. And I wonder if it's because he's synthezoid, is it because he's dead? So far, and we'll talk about this in a second too, we know that Vision and Pietro are actually dead. We know that those two are dead, and Wanda seems to have a hard time controlling them, as well as a difficult time controlling the boys. Now, she has trouble controlling the boys for a different reason, but we can see that she does not like him thinking for himself, and she can't suppress his thinking the way she's suppressing the other people in the towns. And we see that in evidence at the beginning of this episode, where he pretty much tells her, no, he's gonna do the patrol, he's not walking around with her and the kids. Then Wanda later finds out that that was a lie too. He's off doing his own business, which she doesn't like, and that's definitely gonna be an issue. But we see in this episode at least why Wanda's not about it. Next, we're getting into Uncle Jesse. I mean Uncle Pietro. So strange. Now, to me, it is so trippy to see Evan Peters speaking with such a weird voice. Let me know what you guys think. Like the way he's talking is just so overly American and bizarre. But you can tell right from the beginning he is the laid back, funny, quirky uncle. Even though it seems like this episode didn't pull from Full House so much as, like, I don't know, maybe Malcolm in the Middle. I know there's a lot of theories going on online on whether or not he is actually Pietro, whether he's Peter from the X-Men movies, why he's there, all of these things. And I honestly think in this episode more light is shed on who he is, because to me he has a nefarious attitude. He seems to be not out for Wanda's best. I honestly think he might be Mephisto. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll explain why I think this. He keeps asking her how she did it. How did she do all this? And he commends her for it, but he asks her in a sort of jealous way, like he wants her power. And we see in the commercial, which I'll also get to, that that's kind of a theme, kind of taking yo magic. But we also see that he calls Tommy and Billy demon spawn. And I don't know if Marvel is they just want to keep teasing us about this, or if they're like, yes, they are shards of Mephisto's soul. That remains to be seen. Also, we know that this Pietro is the Pietro in the MCU because Wanda sees his body all shot up. So that doesn't exactly sever our ties with the Fox X-Men movies because it is Evan Peters. But we do wonder, like, how all of this came to be. Like, did she pluck him out of the Fox universe and then kind of imprint on him her memories of Aaron Taylor Johnson? I don't know. That seems strange. Also, just gotta love the Kick-Ass reference in there because Aaron Taylor Johnson was in Kick-Ass, so I thought that was funny. He just is very disturbing, and you can tell that Vision is not crazy about him either. And Wanda asks him where his accent went, and he comes right back at her and asks her where hers went. But also, just like their interactions, you can tell she's testing him the whole time. And he knows exactly what's going on. He knows what's going on with Wanda. He knows what's going on with the boys. As soon as Tommy shows his powers, he's like, yes, just like me. Gotta love the nod to everyone in their comic book costumes. That was great. One of the most important pieces of information that we got from this episode is what happens between Agnes and Vision. Agnes goes to the edge of the town, exactly where Wanda tells Billy and Tommy not to go. Now she drives there and she's just sitting there staring, pretty much like the Truman Show. She doesn't exist if she's not around Wanda. Now all of this time, everyone's thinking that Agnes is Agatha Harkness, and I still think that is true. But I wonder if, now this is a huge theory, but I wonder if Wanda saw Agnes Harkness perhaps in an alternate universe and imprinted that idea on this woman who is not Agatha Harkness. Something to consider, because she seems so confused and then so desperate when Vision brings her back. She's like, oh, you're Vision, you're an Avenger, are you here to help us? Like, Agnes has not been so desperate. Why does she need help? But also then we go back to what happened between her and Herb at the fence, where Herb says, you know, it's because we're all, and she cuts him off and looks horrified. What is going on with Agnes? Is she a pawn in Wanda's game? Is she a pawn in Mephisto's game? I think we thought she had a lot of control, and her interaction with Vision just makes me think maybe she doesn't. Maybe she, like everyone else in the town, is being manipulated to play a part. And maybe that part is Agatha Harkness. Now we have to get into the boys, okay? Now clearly Tommy and Billy, or Billy and Tommy, they're 10 now. They've stopped aging. As we get to know them a little bit better and their personalities. Now at the beginning of the episode, they don't have any powers. By the end of it, they both do. Billy Wiccan has Wanda's powers, and Tommy Speed has Pietro's powers. Just because they've stopped aging, they haven't stopped developing. Quicksilver is so excited about it. That's why I'm like, developing these boys, developing their powers. He also makes such a creepy comment like, where did you get all these kids from? Because it's true, and that's why that was so important, that question that Vision asked her last week. Where are all the kids in Westview? All of a sudden, he asked the question, bam, they appear. Now we have to get into the commercial. This is the very first commercial that we have that, one, is not live action. It's claymation, which was pretty popular in the 90s. Two, it's advertising Strawberry Yo Magic. Now, the only person in Wandavision who has red magic is Wanda. And it's interesting, the slogan for the Yo Magic is, it's a snack for survivors. Obviously, it's in the Go-Gurt style, and oh man, I freaking loved Go-Gurts, man. And it's got a boy. This is the first time we don't have the woman and the man, or just the woman. So far, I've been thinking that all of the commercials are Wanda's subconscious and the traumatic things that have happened to her past tense. But now we see this, and we know Wanda's not a boy. Is it Pietro who's on the island starving? Who does the shark represent? I honestly do think in this commercial we get a hint that it's Mephisto trying to steal her powers. And what's interesting is that whoever is trying to, the boy who's trying to open the Yo Magic can't open it and dies waiting for it to open. And do you think it's a sign of Mephisto? Is it the Grim Reaper? There are a couple of other big bads. It's just, you know, we've really been harping on Mephisto. So let me know what you guys think about that commercial. Also, we get some confirmation that Monica Rambeau will be Photon. Darcy notes that her going in and out of Wandavision and passing through that RMCB, RBCM, whatever, the CMBR, the cosmic microwave background radiation is affecting her DNA all the way down to her cells. We know for sure that Monica will be Photon at some point, and that her entering Westview is the origin of that. So that's pretty exciting. Now, the last thing that happens in this episode that we must take note of is Westview is expanding. Wanda, after Tommy tells her that he hears Vision screaming in his head, Wanda pretty much shuts everything down, finds her man, and it's interesting the way she decides to save him. It goes back to what Darcy had said, that it was eventually going to expand. And sure enough, Wanda expands Westview enough to cover Vision and keep his body alive, keep his body maintained. Very, very interesting. She gets everybody in there except for Tyler Hayward, the director of S.W.O.R.D., Monica, and Jimmy Woo. Okay, you guys, that is everything that I have on WandaVision episode 6. I will try to collect some more information and get out some more theories for you guys. But for sure, I will be back here next Friday for WandaVision episode 7. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. Let me know your theories, your suspicions, and any Easter eggs that you found. I would love to hear them. So yeah, you guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, like this video if you like this video, comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you can be notified of all things SIBZ. And I will see you next week. Bye!